Welcome everybody, daolanders. I am just finishing my script for the video for today, and I am going to talk to you about the three treasures today. And that is a way more complicated story than most people realize. And there's a lot of confusion about it. And after my story today, I hope it becomes clear what the confusion is about, but also that it has been resolved. Because there are different visions on the three treasures, and all of these visions have to become realized in your alchemical process. Whether you're practicing Qigong, taijiquan, meditation, whether you're practicing medicine, or whether you're practicing football or tennis or anything like that, all these kind of things give you opportunity to work on these three treasures. So let's get into that and let's try to make a proper analysis of what the three treasures are about and how you are going to improve yourself and your practice through them. Hi there. If you think, what is this video doing in my search? Well, I make videos about Chinese medicine, about Taoism, about exercise, about living longer, and about all kind of life hacks to make life better, because I believe these things can contribute to a longer, healthier and better life. I think you do too, and I think Google agrees with me, YouTube agrees with me. That's why you see this video. So enjoy this video. It is still night out here, so the morning is just starting and the world is still a quiet place. When we talk about the three treasures though, the sambao, then this time of the day isn't very relevant at this point. We're not going to go too deep into this part, but you will see in every time of the day that there's opportunity to develop the three treasures. And the first three treasures that we have to talk about are the Tao, are the scriptures and the teachers. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in there. Your translation can be wrong because of the modus operandi of the translators, which is basically newspaper language. So at the moment when you are reading a lot of the material that is being translated from Chinese to English or to German or French or Spanish or Russian or any kind of other language, it might very well be that this translation is faulty. At the moment when you read in Dutch, my own language, I know for sure there are a lot of mistakes in there because most of the translations are directly from English or German, and it is very difficult for many translators and even for practitioners to let go of that what is commonly approved of, especially when you publish a book, because publishers like to sell books, and if you go astray from the mainstream translation, they refuse to publish your books. This is just how it is, and that is not a criticism, it is understandable, but in the story today you will start seeing how that can actually affect the way how you currently are thinking about a lot of different kind of concepts. And we are now at this moment talking about the three treasures in that respect. When we talk about the three treasures, we need to know a few things, and I need to watch my notes a little bit because it is a little bit complicated when we talk about this. When we talk about the three treasures as Tao, scriptures and teachers, that means that we have to cultivate our relationships with them. We have to cultivate our relationship with Tao, we have to cultivate our relationship with the scriptures, and we have to cultivate our relationship with the teachers, or if we are a teacher ourselves, we have to cultivate our role as a teacher. That means that you are in a continuous process of improving the quality of what you are doing. We are later in this video going to talk about your relationship with Tao, and it becomes very self-evident about what is right and what is not right, and therefore you can start reassessing the way how you are practicing at this moment. So that's a very practical side that we go discuss at the end, not because of keeping you into the video if you're not interested. No, it is just because in our story this is the best place to talk about that. At the moment when we talk about the relationship with scriptures, I already said this. At the moment when the translation is not good, you are going to be going in a maze that you will not go out. And I know also several teachers who are basing themselves on these scriptures because their Chinese is not good enough, or maybe their Chinese is good enough, but their misunderstanding is very large because of the habit of translating that they have from the popular literature which is there. It is really very difficult to separate yourself from that. It takes me everyday discipline to keep using the words which are correct, and all my students, most of my students, they come from an environment from this populist literature. So as a result of that, they very often fall in the trap of using this old language, which makes me laugh, and they know that I try to correct them. So that is very important. There is no proof in the Chinese scriptures for the things that Westerners say. So let's just say it, keep it at this moment, and in the running course of our story, more things will come out of that. In the cultivation of your listening to teachers, that means also analyzing what they are saying. Don't take whatever they say on face value. When they talk about Jing, Qi and Shun, for instance, is all very nice, but if you don't understand what is Jing, Qi and Shun and they give you a wrong idea, like for instance in current TCM, the way how things are being translated as essence, energy and spirit, this is a translation which is handy because it is convenient, but it is not correct. And leaving it in their original meaning for text would always be better, but then having a teacher who actually explains you what Jing, Qi and Shun is a very important aspect, and we'll get back to that later on. What is important about these three treasures is that all of these, the scripture, the Tao and the teachers, all the three, they're actually easy to understand when you have a correct material in front of you. You have to understand that we as Western countries, when we are working on the development of scriptures in the West from Chinese sources, learning about what these sources actually say is based on the experience and practice, and the self-criticism that is required in alchemical process is very often absent in the people who are doing translation. Daoist teachers usually say you have to always assume that whatever you say, whatever you do is wrong. So with whatever I say, I myself assume it is wrong. So being a skeptic is a very essential part of what you are doing. And that means that whatever others say also by nature might have a merit, but you do need to investigate it to understand if it is true or not. The role of the teacher is to help you get over your own ignorance. So at the moment when you're skeptic about yourself, you're going to accept the fact that you're actually ignorant about what you're doing. And the teacher has to help you past that, and explaining the scriptures is a very important part of that. If a teacher says the scriptures are not that important because they're from the past, they are not good enough, and we know better, that means that the teacher has no clue. So this is a very important part. At the moment when you can say, okay, this guy is trying to investigate the scripture, or this woman, because men and women for Taoism are the same in the qualities of teachings, but at the moment when they're really investigating the scriptures and they try to analyze them, and they might get stuck on the scriptures sometimes, like I do also, same, especially when I'm doing the translations for the Shifu guide, where I collect all the translations and where you can become a member of, so that you can keep track of these translations and that you can use them to enhance the quality of your cultivation. At the moment when you are asking things, you're skeptical about things, you have a teacher who helps you to overcome the details of this lack of understanding, so that you can start developing understanding, which comes over time. Then you can see why Tao, Jing, Tao scriptures and teachers, why they are called the three treasures. So that is one thing. When we are talking about the three treasures of Tao, scripture and teachers, they have to help us cultivate both our life and our destiny. Our destiny, of course, is to become an immortal within the context of Taoism, which is somewhere between 120 and 180 years old as a base premise. At the moment when we achieve that, because of the interaction and the interdependence of these three, then at that moment we can say we have made a good value of the three treasures. That said, there is also the three treasures of heaven, earth and man. Heaven, earth and man are three realms of existence, you can say, also discussed in the Tao Te Ching, discussed in the I Ching, discussed in many other texts. And at the moment, when we talk about these three realms, which also refers to the three treasures of heaven, earth and water, and the water realm in that sense, because these are three realms. The water realm is where the human realm is a part of, and the water realm specifically is relevant when we are practicing magic in the earth realm, and ritual when we go towards the heavenly realm, and also magic when we go to the earth realm. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but let's keep that for another time. At the moment when we talk about these three realms, we can see that each of these three realms also has three treasures. So altogether we can say there are 9 treasures. The 3 treasures of heaven, the 3 treasures of earth, and the 3 treasures of mankind. And the 3 treasures of heaven are the sun, the moon, and the stars. And these are the luminaries that we use in our cultivation. These luminaries, they are the base luminaries, which we have to absorb and connect with. And for this we need particular kind of practices. And when we are going to look at the earth realm, we can say that there is water, fire and wind in these 3 realms. When we talk about the human realm, we talk about specifically for humans the Jing, Qi and Shen. Animals, they don't develop these kind of things unless when they actually start cultivating themselves for whatever kind of reason, and as a result that become pets, because they cultivate their life in such a way to get into a second life. There are a lot of kind of ideas that say that pets do come to live with you when they choose to live with you. These are actually animal spirits that want to become an immortal too. So they are more than just animals. Animals live in stress in nature, depending on the opulence of their environment, but there are particular kind of risks, and these risks, they are being eliminated when they go live with human beings. The purpose of developing Jing, Qi and Shen is to help us connect with the realm of heaven and the realm of earth. That means that because of the cultivation of Jing, Qi and Shen, we become, like what Lao Tzu says in the Tao Te Ching, we become like a sage, and this sage is then able to travel between the different realms and connect and actually serve as a sort of a healing power. At the moment, when we develop the Jing, Qi and Shen, we do that by means of what is called the 3 dantians, and it's a really long process to be able to develop all these 3 things properly and to create what is called the 3 elixirs. So these 3 elixirs each have their value, and the base elixir, what we start with usually, is the one from the lower dantian. But it means that most people, they will be working their whole life on the lower elixir, and some will have a good foundation in there so that they can start working on the middle elixir. In fact, they work on all 3 elixirs at the same time, but you first need to finish the first one before you can start working on the second one. The second one depends on the first one, and the third one also depends on the second one and the first one at the same time. So you see that there's like a cumulative process going on, and if you lose one of the medicines, then the other medicines also are getting lost. So it means it doesn't work anymore. The same with the Jing, Qi and Shen. The Jing, Qi and Shen, they are interdependent. They always exist at the same time. But the quality of them, which is very important. And this also shows that a lot of teachers who say that you have to transform Jing into Qi and Qi into Shen is absolute nonsense. There is no transformation from one level to another level. No, there is a building on the presence of the one thing. The original alchemical formula very easily says if you refine the Jing, then as a result that the Qi can flower. And that means it's not transforming, it just means it becomes better, because the whole alchemical process is a matter of the acceptance of the fact that things are there, but you need to refine them. So in essence, in potential, we have a Jing. At the moment when we are sitting as a potato bag like that, the Jing of course is very low, but at the moment when we open up our body, we carry our body properly, and this is why we practice, then at that moment we can develop the Jing. And then when the Jing becomes really very refined, you start noticing that your body becomes better and better in shape, in form, and that doesn't mean that you become slim or anything like this, because you can be a according to different body types. You can also have a round body. So that doesn't say anything about having to lose weight or anything like that. This is not the case. The case is the nature of the way how the body is being developed, and it also stands in relationship to other factors we're going to talk about later on also. Then at the moment when you look at it like that, at the moment when the Qing is good, then at that moment automatically the functioning of your body, the yang qi of your body will be better, and then as a result of that, the qi will also radiate outward, like, oh, this person knows what he is doing or she is doing. And at the moment when that happens, then at that moment you can say, okay, the qi is perfect. And at the moment when the qi is actually perfection, and at the moment when you can see that the qi is perfect, and at that moment the awareness can start flowering too. The thing is, though, that at the moment when the Qing is developing, you require to have awareness, the Shen, awareness. And at the moment when you are developing the Qing, automatically the Qi is improving. That means that the Yang is improving, and as a result of that, eventually more and more things will become more smooth to you. So these are things that are all very important. Because of this and the development of the elixirs in the three Dan, we also very often call the Jing, Qi, and Shen the three medicines. That means that you have to exercise them to be able to have the medical effect of it. If you are just practicing your Qigong and you're not required to pay extra attention on it, or it is being translated in the wrong way so that you are being put on the wrong leg, then your practice does not give you the healing properties that you are looking for. And I know this is a difficult video for many people, certainly to watch to the end. It means that a lot of people will miss this message. But at the moment when you are having the correct language inside your material, then at that moment you can see that there are a lot of things which are important and which many teachers do not convey simply because they do not know. When we look at these three treasures, then of course there's much more to say about that, because there's also the physical level of the three treasures, and then in that case we talk about the eyes, the mouth, and the ears. And the different proverbs in Taoism, they talk about this as, okay, if you are aware of the fact, if you have become aware of the fact that you become ignorant, that's the same like the Four Noble Truths in Buddhism. At the moment when you are becoming aware of the fact that you're ignorant, it is important to close your mouth, to stop seeing the things that are wrong for you, and also close the ears for things that are not useful to you. In the development of the control over the Hun and the Po in our body, then at that moment also one of the stages, you are installing spirits in your body to help you fill your ears with the right teachings, to control your eyes and to control your mouth so that you do not say the wrong kind of things, but you only say the right kind of things. You try to correct yourself on your speech. You try not to say bad language. It's the same like in Christianity when they say you shouldn't curse. You can say the same thing basically for anything. You should not speak bad about anybody. And when I first got to understand about this thing, which you can see as something like a low-grade teaching, I actually became aware of it because of the Indonesian refuge here in the Netherlands when the Netherlands became independent. That's already a long time ago, of course. And these people, they took some aspects of Nihayana Buddhism with them, with the image of the three monkeys, with closing the eyes, closing the ears, closing the mouth. You might know about this. And at the moment when they were teaching about that, they said like, because people by nature are ignorant, it's better to not talk, not see, and not listen. And this is the essence of Nihayana teachings. In this way you can see it is also part of Taoism, in the sense that if you become aware of the fact that you are on the alchemical path but you do not know what is truth and what is false, it's better not to say anything about it to not confuse yourself and others. Because people just listen to each other. This is what they do. And it has to take a long time before you're ready to speak about these things. And the fact that you are doing something for a long time does not mean that you are right. So there has to be a verification process in the things that you are doing. That's it. Do I have everything? No, there is more. When we talk about the Jade Seal Sutra of the Jade Emperor, this is important. When we talk about the Heart Seal, when we are when we are talking about the Heart Seal Sutra of the Jade Emperor, then we see a lot of other things coming up when we talk about the three treasures, because the Heart Seal scripture, it talks about Jing Qi and Shen as the best medicine, as I mentioned before. This is where I got it from. And from these three, the Jade Seal, the Heart Seal scripture says that the Shen is the best because it has the furthest reach. Of course, it is to connect you with the discrepancy of your system. And that means that the Shen is the best, but it cannot do without the Jing and the Qi. And that means that their interdependence is essential for your alchemical process. And to be aware of it means also that you first have to start working on the Jing, while on the sidelines working on the other things, and gradually you have to work your way up until you eventually get the best of the three medicines, namely the one of the Shen. When we talk about the perfection of the Jing Qi and Shen, we have to work our way back towards what is called the Yuan Jing, Yuan Qi, and the Yuan Shen. And when we work back to that, that means that we have to refine the innate oneness of each of these three. When we refine the innate oneness of Jing, that means that through exercise we create a unified body so that our body form is a clear expression of what we are doing. At the moment when we develop an innate Qi, the innate oneness of the Qi, that means that all the different kind of body functions, they are harmonious so that we are healthy and fit. And at the moment when we talk about the innate oneness of the Shen, that means that we have a clear relationship with the environment around us and inside us, and also have a clear vision of our path. Of course, in developing these three innate qualities, we also develop a good understanding of our life and our destiny and how that actually works. And we let go of all the stupid goals like having a nice Ferrari or wearing beautiful clothes or anything like that. We start realizing that we live in a rule-based universe, and that by complying with these rules we can get things done, and by bending the rules in particular ways we also can get things done. And that's the whole process of the alchemical thing. Nature of life is to become inert, because the universe in itself is an inert place, even though there's a lot of movement. But when the movement stops, this is when death occurs. So we have to make sure that we bend the rules by making sure that the movement keeps on going. This is where both in the religious Taoism as in the alchemical Taoism a lot of attention is for. Then at the moment when we are able to develop these kind of things, we can see that we can transcend the boundaries of our own realm. So we can transcend the boundaries of our human realm, and like the sage in the Tao Te Ching, we can transport ourselves between the different realms, not letting go of the body, because without the body there is no life, there is no alchemical process, so there's no separation of the body. That means that we can fulfill the role of being a sage, and therefore be a support for the community. And this is also why many Taoists and also Buddhists who are doing self-cultivation are saying that at the moment when you reach a particular kind of level, you're never going to be tired, because your life and destiny is one with the Tao, and as a result of that you always find a resource through which you can do things. That does not mean that you have to force yourself to do all kind of things, because at the moment when you force yourself, you're going to get exhausted, you get burnout or whatever kind of things. The thing is, you have to develop a particular kind of averageness in everything, so that you can, through switching between different tasks and so on, you can continuously help yourself to become better and better in being average. And this is the foundation of developing this transformation in yourself. At the moment, when we get to that point, we can talk about also the sense of the heart seal scripture. It also discusses the innate and the acquired treasures of our body. And the three innate treasures are Jing, Qi and Shen, of course. And then when we talk about the innate qualities of Jing, Qi and Shen, then we talk about the three innate treasures of our body, so of our lives actually. When we talk about the three acquired treasures, then we talk about what we take from our breathing and what we take from what we do. When we talk about the three acquired treasures, then we talk about what we take from our breathing. So at the moment when we're breathing, we are breathing the Gong, and the Gong Qi, the function of the emptiness from the space around us, the voidness, you can say. This is actually where we take from. And at the moment when we do so, then at that moment we can improve the quality and the nature of our body. We can help ourselves with that. And also at the moment when we are aware of all kind of things, then the awareness of our thinking and our speech must help us to create the right kind of thoughts and so on. Then there's also the realm, the third acquired treasure, namely of developing sympathy for ourselves and our fellow beings, animals, plants, other people, their suffering, their arrogance, and so forth and so forth. So by acts of kindness, and these are anonymous kindnesses, so you don't need to be bragging about your kindness. You just have to make sure that you are a kind person by just acting kindly, through which you gradually start seeing a response on your kindness. And as a result of that, you start developing also insight in your own kindness and your lack of kindness. At the moment when your kindness is growing further, you start noticing that people appreciate you for your kindness, and then you start seeing more clearly what is the reason for their lack of kindness, or what is the reason for their sense of misery in their life. Of course, in Taoism, life is called the place of dirt and dust, because it is very often not a very pleasant thing. So at the moment when you are developing yourself as being tired, this is because of being associated and invested in this world of dirt and dust. At the moment when you start getting a clear image of your destiny and your life in the context of Tao scriptures and teachers, or through these three, then at that moment you start overcoming your tiredness and you start finding meaning in your life, and also develop an untiring and unwavering discipline in helping other people to get to that point too. So I think this actually should conclude my story. This is already one of these long videos, and I think this already adds enough to the story of the three treasures. And you saw that we talked about the three treasures of the Tao, the scriptures and the teachers. We talked about the three treasures of heaven, earth and man. We talked about the scriptures of Jing, Qi and Shen. We talked about the innate and the acquired treasures. We talked about the treasures of the behavioral aspects of ourselves and of our senses. So we have been going through a lot of these kind of treasures, and it is important to cultivate all of these treasures. So all of these treasures, whenever you come across one set of treasures, you can say, oh, okay, so this is also one that I have to cultivate. The thing is that a lot of people, they try to simplify things for you. They try to make you believe in one story, and the reality is that reality is very complicated. And although things can be very simple, you have to engage with the complications to get to the moment where things become very simple. If you do not engage with the complications, you never get anywhere. So avoid simplifications, avoid not engaging with the world around you, avoid saying, I'm not ready for this. That's a very important part, because every readiness comes from trying, and keeping on busy with trying. Never stop trying. So I hope this is helpful for you. You can help the video, of course. Little mice, little mice, yes, little mice. Come over my coat.